Are you ready to take control of your future? All In CDO Training is more than just a driving school. We're your partner in achieving financial independence. Overcoming test anxiety? Struggling with self-doubt? We're here to help. Our expert instructors provide personalized support to guide you through the entire process. With flexible hours and online courses, we'll get you behind the wheel in as little as 3 months. It's time to turn your passion into a rewarding career. All In CDO Training, the future of commercial driving.
Dominate every matchup, period. This should be the mindset of every competitor in both team and individual sports and in life. Each day we wake up, regardless of the task, regardless of what we're facing, we gotta decide whether we're gonna dominate or be dominated, period. There is no in between. We believe whoever wears our gear embodies that DEL mindset. Dominate every matchup, period. The question is, which side will you be on?
Cannon Nation Boxing Gym in Santa Fe Springs, California offers training for pros, amateurs, and weekend warriors. Ran by current WBC boxer Brandon Cannon Adams and pro trainer, the People's Coach, Coach Cam Manalo. They offer adult and kids training and classes for all ages. Cannon Nation Boxing is in the corner for anyone who wants to learn the sweet science of boxing as a career or personal goals. Go to cannonnationboxing.com for more info.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir.
All right, check 1, 2. AC Sports Live here on the 21st day of January, the year 2025. Fly, Eagles, fly. Sorry, Rams fans. Tough go at it. We appreciate you. If it were in LA, you would have more to say. You probably would have won the game if it were in LA. But sorry for you. My man Guy is in here, tripping through transformation. Hey man, I'm trying to go. Show's delayed tonight. A little bit late. Fellowshipping with my good friends, my brothers, my drill brothers. The Joshua Man, P. Ward, Derek Ayers, Paul Guidry, Courtney Simpson, Phil Rogers. Only guys are missing was J.O. and A.J. Still had a good time. Rubio, Method, the long snapper himself in the building. Showtime. Oh man, I'm sinking too far in my seat. Let me get up a little bit, getting a little too low. There we go. Tonight's show brought to you by Impact Cell. It is the fountain of youth. Literally. Impact Cell. Impact Silica for recovery, for improved functionality, for your joints, muscles, all that good stuff. Promo code coming very soon. More information coming soon, or you can go to impactcell.com and check them guys out. Also, shows brought to us by Princely Garb. My main man, Chris the Graybeard. I featured some of his music on my show. Gospel lyricist extraordinaire, Princely Garb, but you can check it out. There's a lantern and a crown representing the king. Princely Garb, lantern and oil. It's a Bible reference. Pretty cool stuff. Promo code LIVE20. Go to princelygarb.com. Order your stuff. Type in promo code LIVE20 through Thursday and get 20% off the already slashed prices on your lantern and oil company, Princely Garb attire. Represent the kingdom with your Princely Garb. Shout out to Chris the Graybeard. New sponsorship. And the show is also brought to you by All In CDL Training, the future of commercial driving. Get your Class A, Class B, and endorsements in the city of Long Beach. Say you don't know what to do with your life, and say you have hard time taking tests. Well, we have techniques, one-on-one instruction to help you get your license in as soon as 3 months. If you put your pedal to the metal, as they say, you could be on the road driving in no time. Hit them up at 909-708-4861, www.allincdotraining.com. All right. Tonight's show. Again, we're a little bit late. Better late than never, I always say. Had a good time catching up with the fellas. The NFL Final Four is set. Eagles, Commanders, Chiefs, Bills. Do you feel bad for my main man, Mark Andrews, on the Baltimore Ravens? You kind of feel bad, but he didn't have the best day of his life. Couple of drops, a fumble. Some say he had money on the game. The drop heard around the world. Kansas City Chiefs, man. Did you see the calls? Jeez Louise. Tell us you want them to win without telling us you want them to win. We need Taylor Swift in the stands. This is what I saw. The national championship game came and was better than I thought it was going to be. After that first half, I was like, this is going to be a snoozer. But the luck of the Irish almost came through. We'll touch on that. My 2 cents. Mick Cronin at UCLA is preaching. The Bears signed Detroit OC. Let's see if that's going to be a good thing. Just found out the portal is fake from Rubio sent me a tweet in the situation where a player was able to transfer without anybody's permission. And the Dodgers signed a megastar. My Tragic Johns, there was a Facebook post with NFL players and actors. And of course, it's Unk season as usual. All right, so we're in the building. The NFL is down to 4. It's down to 4. The Queen Elaine is in the building. Howdy. Good games this weekend. A big bet between KD and Devin Booker. When the Lions, the favorites to win the Super Bowl, get beat. Devin Booker and KD had a bet. The Lions win. KD has to thank Draymond Green for his 2 championships. The Commanders win, which they did. Booker has to publicly write a Father's Day card to Luka Doncic. So that's what we're gonna see. We get to see Devin Booker write a thank you card, a Father's Day card, because he's his dad. I like those types of gambles, man. Saquon Barkley, again, cuts up the Rams as he always does recently. I think that's over 500 yards between 2 games versus the Rams. And some of the plays that Saquon broke were audibles. The Rams play a funky style defense where they have defensive linemen moving around, and you have defensive backs and linebackers lined up in the A gap and in the B gap, and a few checks, a few audibles, and it gets ugly in the trenches. So Saquon had a field day. I love how rumors get started. There was a play, I think, where Saquon went for 78 yards. And everyone says that Saquon said, watch this. He did not say, watch this. He asked, am I on the wrong side? Am I on the wrong side for the check you're making? Wrong side? Jenna said, we're good. So don't start false narratives, man. Saquon is great, but he didn't say watch this. He just said wrong side. It's the same mouth gesture. Right side? Right side? Because he told the reporters in the press conference what he was saying to Jalen Hurts pre-snap during his big run. So let's not get it too twisted. Oh man, Mark Andrews drops the game-tying 2-point conversion. And I ran to the comments, and so many people said Lamar should have put the ball out front. Lamar's fault. Lamar didn't throw a catchable ball. I'm sorry, y'all. You catch that ball. Mark Andrews catches that ball 99 times out of 100. This one time he drops it. Now, Lamar didn't play his best game, but I think he played well enough to get to overtime and see what happens. Instead, he may have just dropped the MVP to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who will face the Kansas City Chiefs, who were the beneficiaries of some of the worst roughing the passer penalties I've ever seen, where the defensive player hasn't even grazed Patrick Mahomes' head. They still get called for roughing the passer. So it still leads me to believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are the chosen ones. They are the new chosen ones of the league, and they must be in a championship to make sure we maximize these dollars. Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs, Commanders. I don't think either way the NFL, because Jaden Daniels is a great story. There's never been a rookie in the history of the NFL win the Super Bowl. So just getting there, I don't know if is that the first? As a rookie quarterback ever went to the Super Bowl? JD5 scares me. The last time the Eagles played the Commanders won, coming back and beating the Eagles. Of course, after Jalen Hurts gets hurt in the first quarter, we are a different team without Jalen Hurts. We no longer control the ball. It becomes a track meet, and even our number one defense is suspect when it comes to getting carved up if we're on the field too much. So the defense was at a disadvantage the last time we played the Commanders. The very first time we played the Commanders, it was a walk in the park. Jaden Daniels was still a baby, a pup. They say, your first 7 or 8 games, you're still a rookie. And then after that, you're no longer a rookie. I still believe we win. This is going to be in Philadelphia. It's going to be cold. It just might snow once again. It's going to be very tough. I hope we implement some type of spy on JD5. Of course, we have to make sure he doesn't get out the pocket and make things happen with his legs. Make him a thrower. Take away McLaurin. I'm so happy that Quinyon Mitchell is going to play. I'm happy it's a upper body injury and not a lower body injury. So if he just covers really well, he shouldn't have to hit so much. And you have to probably favor that one shoulder he damaged last week. But I'm glad he's playing. We'll see if Rodgers is healthy, because he kind of pulled up lame at the end as well. Kelly Ringo needs to be ready, because you never know. This is going to be all hands on deck. Winner goes to the Super Bowl and plays the Chiefs. Unless Josh Allen can do something and change that narrative. It will be in Kansas City. It will be cold. It will be tough. And you got to beat the refs. So how you beat the refs, you got to win by 3 touchdowns. That's all there's to it. You have to win by 3 touchdowns. Shout out to Nolan Smith, who has turned this thing around, becoming one of the more dominant players in these playoffs, playing for his teammate who's no longer able to play this season, Jacoby Dean. But Nolan Smith has taken up the slack. He is handling business. His coach called him nasty. Jalen Carter has been playing nasty, physical up front. Our offensive line has been playing nasty and physical up front. I'm waiting for A.J. Brown to come alive, because Jalen Hurts threw him some dots. One dot he bobbled, which could have been a touchdown. So it's not like they haven't made the connection. So A.J. Brown may not be helping the Eagles a whole lot, but he sure helped the selling of that book he was reading on the sideline. 52 million % increase. He just made that man a ton of money. That man who wrote that book owes A.J. Brown a few dollars for a book that costs $17.97. He has changed that author's life forever. Crazy, man. Crazy work. In the college ranks, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, before I go any further, I told this to Chris Rubio, that book is going to have some big fella at the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. hoops breakfast club balling on another level. They're going to find the meaning of greatness thanks to that book. In other NFL news, before we go to Ohio State, Ben Johnson, OC of the Detroit Lions, and all those fancy plays he was calling, is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. And he will be calling plays for Caleb Williams and his trio of receivers. Should be interesting, but it's still the Bears. And we'll see if the Bears are indeed cursed, if they can't get this thing turned around. I think it's more than just a coach, offensive line, but it could be just the voice. Or the Bears are just cursed because of what they did to Lovie Smith. Didn't give him a fair shot at all. Good luck, Ben Johnson. And good luck for the Detroit Lions to find a creative play caller such as Ben Johnson. The Ohio State Buckeyes are the national champions of college football. Jeremiah Smith and company had Notre Dame against the ropes early. It didn't look like Notre Dame even belonged out there with Ohio State. But the the star-studded receiving core they have. Probably the best player in college football in Jeremiah Smith. And his counterpart, Emeka Uboka. Both those guys play on Sunday. And Marcus Freeman is under question if he should have gone for the touchdown, the 4th and 9 in the red zone. I mean, if he makes that kick, the end of the game is a little bit different. When Ohio State got the ball in the red zone, a field goal would not have sealed it. A field goal would have made it still an 8-point game if the Notre Dame kicker would have made that kick. But since he did not, it now looks like a bad decision. Go for it. Give yourself a better chance. Give yourself one more chance. If you don't get it, you're still down by 2. You kick a field goal, you're still down by 2 scores. So you're going to forever be criticized for that call. But the game itself just looks like you don't have a quarterback that can throw. That quarterback was not elite. Notre Dame's quarterback struggled to throw the football. He finally found a target in Great House, but it was just painful to watch in the first half. My sweet brother Noomsi's in the building. He has come back from Nepal. My sweet brother Noomsi has forgiven me. Rubio said, was the Lions losing at home one of the biggest mess-ups in the last 20 years in the NFL? I just felt bad for the Detroit Lions fans. Like, I put $2 on the Eagles to win the whole thing, but I would not have been mad if the Detroit Lions won the Super Bowl. That is a hard-working town who has never tasted glory, and this was their best shot. Instead, they made Dan Campbell's talk of biting ankles and biting off kneecaps sound like WWE talk. A bunch of just hot air, because they sure enough had no answers for the Commanders. And that defense having as many injuries as it did have, it was only a matter of time before they got seriously exposed as they did. They couldn't get a stop. They couldn't get off the field. But it was one of the biggest letdowns, if not choke jobs. It would be even a bigger choke job if they were healthy. If they would have had Aiden Hutchinson and guys like that, I don't think they would have happened that way. Watch when the Eagles play against them this week. It'll be a lot different because we have edge rushers who can play up the field and keep contained. I think the Lions were handicapped without the guys that they needed, man. So, yes, it's a disappointment, but I don't think it's, with the injuries, the biggest upset in the history of football, but it's right up there as one of the biggest letdowns because the city of Detroit was hungry for a winner. And the team, this is the best Lions team I've ever seen. Even when they had Barry Sanders and they went to the NFC Championship game, I don't think they had the potential that these Lions had. So if this team could put together, well, they've already lost their OC. So that's going to be very hard to replace. Also, the defenders need to go full speed on Mahomes at all times. They're going to get called anyway, so at least get a good hit to leave a message. I think that's what some of the better defensive linemen do. They make sure they touch him. They make sure they hit him every single play. So he's at least thinking about it. Knock him down a few times. You're going to get called for roughing the passer or unnecessary roughness anyway. I agree. Hit the quarterback. I think the Eagles have a good game plan for Jaden Daniels to keep him in the pocket. I don't think the idea is to put hands on him and get him down, but just make sure he stays in that pocket and doesn't get loose. Yeah, the Lions had too many players down. Yeah, if you look at the number of injuries they had, I don't know how you overcome that. Better than Stafford and Megatron. They were good too. I don't think Stanford and Megatron got to the NFC Championship game. I just know they had great stats. But Megatron retired early because they just couldn't win. I mean, they got sweet uniforms. I mean, their fans have come around to being some of the best fans in the league. I feel bad for them, man. This may sound wrong, but you got to go after his knees in the third quarter. I don't even know if it's that. I just know you got to touch them up. And this goes for Mahomes and Jaden Daniels. If they want to see the Chiefs Eagles rematch, I think that would be a good story. That would be a good marketable game. You could go Commanders versus Bills. I think you lose money on that matchup. As much as we love Jaden Daniels and his success, you still have never heard of McLaurin and who else is on that team. You have to have star power to market the Super Bowl. So at this rate, it's looking like the Eagles versus anybody. Bills and Chiefs. Josh Allen being on the cusp of winning the MVP, but it's just Josh Allen. You have Keon Coleman and them guys are unknowns. There's no other star on the Bills. DeMar Hamlin, because he almost died on the field. You know who he is. But who else is on the Bills? The Eagles are loaded. The Chiefs have a few name brands, especially with Kelsey, Mahomes, Worthy, Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster. So they got some names. So you figure at the end of the day, the NFL wants to make money. Sweet Brother Noomsy says, mainly because all these other quarterbacks keep getting hit late and all that, but they got us tested and file a grievance with the league. Got to knock him out. That's the only way. It's not the only way. You just got to hit him. You got to keep hitting him. You don't have to get him out the game. Bills have James Cook. Yeah, I don't think James Cook sells tickets. But Saquon Barkley does. Pacheco sells tickets. Pacheco has a good story. Long snapper for the Bills is Reed Ferguson. Focus up. Focus up. Reed Ferguson is only a star in our eyes, Rubio. So much so, my CTE is kicking in and I didn't remember that. Bills have what's his face from the Broncos Super Bowl team. What's his face? What's his face with the glasses? Big fella. You know what I'm talking about. You know his name. He got in trouble earlier this year. What's his name? He's not a household name anymore. He was doing commercials and everything. Big defensive end out of Texas A&M. That's the trivia. Name that former Bronco who is now on the Bills, who wears glasses, wears cowboy hats, wears cowboy boots at times. What's his name? He got a sack last week. Or if he didn't get a sack, it was a hurry. What's his name? All right, man. So Ohio State gets the Natty. He said my CTE kicks in. No, my CTE kicks in. As Tony Antonio come in here and he'll say, your CTE is kicking in. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know his name. When you say it, I'm going to be like, pfft. I have it. I can see him. I can totally see him. He got a fumble recovery. Oh man, I'm gonna cheat. I guess I just have to cheat. I know his name. I'm gonna be really mad when I type in Bills DN. It's. I mean, even when I punch it in, I know his name, man. Von Miller. Von Miller. There it is, Rubio. Von Miller. All of us got TT. All of us just need to go take a nap. You need to text it to me. You just text it to me. All right, man. Going into the Ohio State Notre Dame game, did you really think the Irish had a chance? I thought they did. I knew they didn't have the passing game, but I thought they had the defense. And there it is. Sweet Brother Numpty just got it too. Yeah, Von Miller. I thought Ohio State I just didn't want Chip Kelly to win the championship. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't want Chip Kelly to win the national championship for what he did to the Eagles and what he did to UCLA. There, I said it. I don't like Chip Kelly very much, but he's one heck of a play caller. When he has weapons, he can call plays. I said it, I admitted it, but I thought Notre Dame could pull it out. They came up short. Ohio State gets the Natty, but they didn't beat Michigan. So it doesn't even matter. Michigan won the national championship last year. This year is Ohio State. Can we say the Big Ten is tops in football this year? Because the SEC, not so much. Texas let us down. Georgia let us down. Bama let us down. So UCLA and SC joined the toughest conference in America. But the money payout is going to be very good for the school. Where we would have gotten $1 million, we're getting $10 million, and we didn't even place. We didn't even get to the tournament, but each team in the Big Ten is going to get $10 million. That's what I heard. But you haven't heard it from me. Rube says Ohio State paid $20 million in NIL this year. That's last year. If they didn't win, it would have been an issue. So we had this discussion on my text group that they're going to have to pay Jeremiah Smith. The number one receiver in the country is a true freshman and a grown man who actually won the game on that deep ball thrown late. The question is, if you're on the national championship team, what is your cost? What is your number that you need to hear to enter the transfer portal? Because now that they've won the championship, both teams' players have, I believe it's 9 days to hop in the portal and go to the highest bidder. Because let's call it what it is, guys. It's not NIL. It's pay to play. It's pay for play, and some teams have unlimited money in their collectives. It's not name, image, and likeness. We only see a few players actually endorsing a product or signing autographs. This is about paying players, period. It is now legal, so you could bankroll by the time you're done. So you have Jeremiah Smith, who's a true 18-year-old freshman. Now, say he got some pocket change to come to Ohio State in the first place. Now he has the juice, the cachet, the ability to demand, I would say, $10 million. Yes, he's a wide receiver. He's not a quarterback. However, like everything else, the price goes up. So if he has a management team and his management team shops him legally and does not do any poaching or illegal recruiting, his uncle's going to get a phone call from Texas. His high school coach is going to get a phone call from Alabama. His auntie might get a call from Georgia. And they'll ask, what is the number? Some say 5 million. I think the way things are going, if you're the best player in the country, you can say 10 million like the kid got from Miami, the quarterback. I want quarterback money. It's been done. Remember when Prime changed the game for cornerbacks? He said, why can't I get paid like a wide receiver? I take away half the field. And didn't Jerry Jones give Prime the money he asked for? $30 million? Unheard of. Well, we're in the land of milk and honey, and these kids and their collective management companies can ask for top dollar and see who's going to bite. So I predict that Jeremiah Smith will be offered a dollar amount that Ohio State has to match to get him to stay. Because this open season, free agent season. Kids can do what they want to do. They can go where they want to go. If he's comfortable and he doesn't need money, I think the price will stay at a reasonable amount. But if they were smart, they would take the money while it's hot, go to another contender, and make them good. You just got your national championship, so you got that box checked. Now you can go get paid. Generational wealth before the NFL. He may not even have to go to the NFL. We're talking tonight, me and Derek Ayers, about how much he could possibly make in his 4 years of college. Even though he may played maybe 3 years, but he can stay all 4 years and make $5 million a year. And leave here because he's going to be on scholarship eating for free. He will have NIL where he'll make some pocket change. But if the collective wants to give you $5 million a year and you're comfortable at Ohio State, that man's sitting pretty. He's not doing too bad. It is the wild, wild west, man. Sweet Brother Noomsy says is actually rooting for the Irish for this first time ever. Young black coach will do that. You know what I liked about this championship was the 7th and 8th seed faced off, where years ago those two would have been in some insignificant bowl game. This is great. That was one point they did not really touch on, is that the parity of the 12-team playoff, the best teams end up in the end who are ready for the playoffs. Some teams tapped out earlier in the season and tried to get hot at the end. They were mad they didn't get in. I think this worked out pretty good. Some of the teams that went to the 12-team playoff got exposed as that just weren't big enough inside. But I think it's still healthy to have that for the smaller Mid-American, Mountain West, Conference USA type teams. You can make the playoff and have your shot. Once upon a time, there was an AP poll and a coaches poll, and you just went by what you thought who was the best. At least this way they play it out. It's a long season and a lot of games for kids to potentially get hurt. But I think of course, you're always going to have a few teams that get left out. Number 13, number 14, number 15, they want to be in there too. Can't have it both ways. Can't have it always the way you want it. All right. So Natty was good. Good game. Marcus Freeman became the first African-American, Asian-American head coach to get that close to winning a championship. I think that's a good thing. Again, people were triggered because people keep saying, why do we have to keep bringing up race? Why not? It's significant that we've gotten this far so that we one day can get to a point where it is no longer a conversation. It's still a conversation. We have to deal with race because race is part of our lives. I mean, we got Elon Musk throwing up the Hail Hitler at the inauguration. Race is still a very viable conversation in everything we do. When it's celebrating something, why is it a trigger? Now, when it's making someone feel low, when you're demeaning someone, yeah, we don't have any room for racism, for making people feel less than. But when you want to uplift people to a point where, look, man, equality is happening. It's happening around us. Let's celebrate it. It's a good thing. We're breaking down barriers. And if you point those things out, it should not be a trigger. It should be something that you celebrate. So I know Marcus Freeman was trying his best to deflect the conversation, but he should be proud that he has reached a level of coaching profession to make his both his heritage, his lineage, his ethnicity, his blood proud that he's overcome some of the pitfalls, some of the hurdles that will face him as a man of color in these United States. So I think it's a good thing. Again, he did a great job when they were trying to get him fired last year. And if you can't win the big game and all that stuff, Notre Dame stands to pocket all that money. They're not in a conference. They get to keep it all, whereas Big Ten has to share that money with the conference. So independent teams like Notre Dame, who else is independent? SMU, a couple other teams who are independent, they get to keep all that bread, man. That's a lot of bread. Sweet Brother Noopsy said now that they have NIL, it's okay to risk a long season and injuries. Only bad if it was back to the old slavery rules where nobody's getting paid and it's only just scholarship checks. Well, they're getting paid. Every game you make it to the next level, more money, more money. Hopefully they share that with the kids. D2W Mafia, Bills Mafia, go Bills. Can the Bills beat the Chiefs? Can we beat the Chiefs? I think they can. I don't think this is the best Chiefs game, the best Chiefs team ever. But them referees, man, the referees are all pro. They don't miss. Mick Cronin, UCLA head coach, goes off, keeping it a whole buck with his team. And I want to say all young athletes. So let's hear what Mick Cronin says about his team.
I mean, we're soft. Aside from, to be fair to you, obviously, they have a unique skill set, the way they shoot the ball, but we're soft. I have to run on the court to get guys to play hard. It's crazy, you know, and it's every day. I'm tired of it. It's every day. I have the most energy of anybody at practice every day. I'm upset with everybody in that locker room, my assistant coaches and my players. I mean, I don't need to do anything else. I almost got 500 wins. I'm only 53. You think I'm coaching the Lakers? I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. But yet I come in and I have more passion and energy and pride than everybody, and that's the problem. The truth of it has been, it's really hard to coach people that are delusional. The hungry dog gets the bone. We got guys that think they're way better than they are. They're nice kids. They're completely delusional about who they are. The problem, I told them, I said, the toughest guy in the room can't be me every day. It can't.
All right, so I believe I showed this before, and it's still very much on my mind because he's describing a whole generation of kids being brought up in an era where they're getting instant gratification, they're getting paid before they've earned it, and then you don't have the ability to motivate them to. It's going to be difficult. This is why Nick Saban retired. It's going to be difficult to not only recruit, but to motivate and to keep kids on board because they know they have the ability to say, screw this, I don't need this, I'll go do it somewhere else. So now kids won't run through a wall for you. They don't have to. They can go somewhere else. Sweet Brother Numpsy wants to know why bring up race. Ask yourself, why do we still have the first black this, first blacks that? It's 2025 and we have been here for over 400 years and we still have first black conversations. Why do you think black people have just started to get some form of equality in this country literally 60 years ago? That was a decade before our great host here was born. Y'all don't get it, man. I think it must still be mentioned, Sweet Brother Numsy, because it's still the reason why it's not fair. Who gets 5 years to improve a program? Who only gets 1 year to improve a program? The fact that Marcus Freeman has been given a few years to do this is monumental. How many black coaches get fired in their first year? It's not equal. And now that we're getting rid of some of the hiring practices that try to make equality, we're now going to go by the content of character, they say. Have you ever watched the show Survivor? Who always gets voted off the island? Who gets the CEO jobs? And why do you think Dion wants to coach his sons? The world is what it is. You gravitate to your own. There are no black owners in the NFL. And it's not because there are not black billionaires who want to buy an NFL team. In order to buy an NFL team, you must be approved by the other owners. Magic Johnson is part owner of the Washington Commanders. He's not the owner. He bought a piece. That's about as far as we're going to get for now. There has only been one black head coach to make it to the national championship game. And yet, for over 60 years, more than 50% of rosters have been of African American descent. So the players, no problem. No racism there. But coaches, offensive coordinators, ownership, it's not level yet. So I think it's still important to celebrate it. I think we went back to a Morgan Freeman quote, he wishes there was no black history because it's all American history. Valid statement, but we still need to educate our kids about their history because the history books will have you believe we're only slaves. So we have, for me, it's your choice. You can do it your way. But for me, I think it's important to point it out. And I need to know who's triggered, because if you're triggered, I know where you stand. I'm the only black teacher at my school. I've been the only black teacher at about 3 schools that I've taught at. And yet the student body has been predominantly black or Latino. Is that a problem? Or is it just a function of our great society? If we can point out meaningless stats for LeBron James to be the GOAT, you can ask the same question. Why are we pointing out stats that don't mean anything? Why are we bringing up stats that doesn't change the way I see, or what I've seen over the course of his career? Because they're important and they're good for us to talk about, because it makes the game seem a little bit more interesting. I think it's a healthy topic, because there was a time where there were no black coaches. There was a time where there were no black players. If we're going to talk about equality, we have to get to a point where we see why it has taken this long and why is it still an issue? Because this is America, baby. Racism is in the roots. Racism is in the soil of this country. I pray every day that racism will come to an end. But I know it's far-fetched. These Chiefs are better than last season's, and they are the champions. I don't know about that, man. You seen the games? You seen the games, Mike. You watched the games. These Chiefs, to me, coach is begging to be fired. The players and coaches apparently have tuned him out. I've never seen this before. You've seen it before. Black person gets voted off early, always in Survivor. And you wonder, like, he could be the strongest player. The Queen said it's crazy. I don't get all riled up about it. It's something that we could continue to just plow through it. We have healthy conversations about these types of things. I think me and Rubio have late night conversation text messages back and forth all the time. Our main conversation is why I should move to Idaho, where he lives. And our conversation, I'm going to go ahead and share this one. He and I, we go back and forth, and he can't see things the way I see them because he hasn't experienced what I've experienced. But I told him, you don't know what it's like to go to a state and be seen and asked, without being asked, why are you here? What are you doing here? And then they see my big 6'4", 225-pound son, and they say, oh, he plays football. That's why you're here. This is in Utah, Idaho, Arizona, South Dakota, North Dakota, all those places where big black people don't exist. Once they find out you're there for football, it's okay. But let me bring a U-Haul truck full of furniture and my visibly black wife, my visibly black children, and we move in. And let us have a house party with some music playing and some people arriving. And then the neighborhood is no longer white as snow. And Rubio says, "You're better than this, AC." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not better than this. This is just what it is. This is the concerns we have to have. When my black son goes out for something to eat late at night, I don't want him pulled over by the law enforcement and being questioned as if he's a criminal. I don't want that. So instead, I'll live in a neighborhood where I know I'll see people like myself, and we'll still have the threat of the people in blue, the boys in blue, harassing us for no reason other than our skin color." So that was an interesting conversation we had. And I says, "Rube, you've never been profiled like I've been profiled." He says, "That's wrong. I've been mistaken as black all the time." And I was like, "Come on, man. You look Italian and Latino, but you don't look black. There's a difference." It's a good, healthy conversation to have so you can get beyond. Rubio and I are both very tough-skinned, and we don't get rattled very easily, and we talk about things. And that's one of the conversations we have, is just like, there are two Americas, and your perspective is your perspective, and your experiences are your experiences. You have the right to feel how you feel, and you can convince me all you want. But when we get to the honky-tonk bar and the music stops because I walk in, it is 2025. We're not equal yet. Yet. The Thieves, not the Chiefs. I thought it was the Cheats. The Kansas City Cheats. Fake portal. One day, Rube said, one day I will get you up here and you will see what I'm talking about. Might get you on a GoPro for the whole trip. It'll be a cool experiment. But like I said on our chat, if you're my escort and everybody knows who you are, if I go as a random black dude with no connection to anybody, I better befriend the police and have them be my escort. Sweet brother Noomsy said, "That's funny. I've been mistaken as a black all the time." That's a statement in itself. Being labeled as black is a threat to humanity in their eyes. It's different, man. I mean, how do you feel when you see Elon Musk throw up the Hail Hitler Aryan Nation symbol? And I might get shut down for this. Do you shrug it off, or do you see the underlying theme here? And if the music stopped for you in a honky-tonk bar, it would be no different than my middle son walking into a bar in the LBC. This is when Big Head Cracker walking in, I bet the music will stop. You'd be surprised, Rubio. We would be peculiar. Like, what is this big white dude doing in here? But if he starts bopping his head, we say, "Come on in." He's invited to the barbecue. What's up, fam? What's up, twin? You could come to the barbecue at Kings Park on Dr. King birthday in your South Dakota issued gear, and you get a plate. Come on in. Now, we will ask later, who was the big white dude? Say, "Oh, he was with me." Oh, okay. Yeah, he was good. He good. He good people. It wouldn't be, "Get that out of here." it will be come on in, fam, get you a plate. Throughout history, and we can have that conversation too, guys. Whose people are more inviting and welcoming? From my Native American people who welcome settlers to their feast and in turn were poisoned and robbed of their land. Let's go to that Thanksgiving story. Let's not. Let's keep the show delightful. Let's keep the show light. The fake portal, man. Rubio sent me this, man. He always sends me good stories. This one right here is troubling because this means I could have walked away from a bad situation not knowing I had any rules that were in place that could help me. The NCAA rules do not prevent a student athlete from unenrolling from an institution, enrolling at a new institution, and competing immediately. Word? In a precedent-setting move, they may spark a landmark legal action among schools. Wisconsin DB Xavier Lucas, who signed a rev share deal with University of Wisconsin, is transferring to Miami, per his attorney. So Wisconsin not entering him in the portal doesn't actually matter. Say word. Legally, that seems correct, but it's funny. The NCAA is just admitting the portal is fake. You mean to tell me the fine print is that this is a temporary deal and you can walk away at any time? You're talking about the floodgates being open. Here I am thinking that it has to be approved in order for you to get out. And that you have to wait a certain number of days before, tampering, having a deal on the table, like you've already solidified where you're going. How are they going to police this tampering, man? How are they going to police that? How? I don't know. In other news, the Clippers, not yet. Football's almost over. And then I'll transition to basketball. Sweet brother Nums, he's already transitioned to basketball. He's already in it. But I'm talking about the Dodgers. The Dodgers. Do the Dodgers have an unlimited amount of money? Like, how is it that the world champs are able to sign Blake Snell? And now we got Roki Sasaki. Like this pitching rotation is going to be sick. We got 7 aces. You got Roki Sasaki for $7 million, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasgow, Yoshi Yamamoto, Tony Gosselin, Dusty May, and Shohei Ohtani when he's ready to pitch. We're cheating. The Dodgers have enough money. We've printed the money. We are flat out cheating now. Go Dodgers. I hope this works. My Tragic Johns. We don't have a tender love report this week. We got Tragic Johns. When I saw Peter Dinklage posing as Kyler Murray, I basically fell out my seat. He's a sub 60, but they got him. All right, so let's see if this works. There was a Facebook post of NFL players I pressed the wrong one. This is supposed to just be the iPhone, not the iPhone camera. All right, so that one's not working. Let's see if this works. Let me do this. I hope it works because this is a funny list. Some of these are just terrible. All right, so we got that. There we go. All right, so going down the list. Macaulay Culkin as Joe Burrow. This could be Tender Love, Queen Lane. Macaulay Culkin. This is Tender Love because it's actors playing NFL players. Sam Jackson as Lamar Jackson. That's pretty good. Drake as Russell Wilson. That's also a good match. Ryan Gosling as Jared Goff. Perfect. Steve Carell as Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that worked out because he's at that stage in his career where he is just a reality show in an office setting. Chris Hemsworth as Sam Darnold. Dastardly handsome. I can see it. Peter Dinklage as Kyler Murray is just diabolical, man. That's just Game of Thrones diabolical. Puff Daddy as Deshaun Watson. Another diabolical. Who did this, man? Chris Evans as Josh Allen, Captain America. Steve Rogers himself. Oh my God. Leonardo DiCaprio as Bill Belichick. Oh, this is terrible. With his young girl. Is that what that's supposed to be? That's terrible, man. Omar Epps as Mike Tomlin. You had to guess this one. That was perfect. That was automatic. That was probably your first choice. Anne Hathaway as Derek Carr. I'm sure Derek Carr is not happy about this one. At all. Jason Momoa as Tua. Tua wishes he was Jason Momoa. You can't unsee this one, man. Jay-Z as Troy Aikman and Matt Damon as Joe Buck. In the building. Joel Osteen as Kirko Chains. Hold your Bible. Hold up your Bible. Nicolas Cage as Andy Reid. Craziness, man. Officer Farva as Aiden McConnell. Aiden McConnell is not loving this at all. Liam Hemsworth as Justin Herbert. Just can't win the big one. Adam Devine as Baker Mayfield. Yep, that'll work. Tom Holland as Brock Purdy. Exactly. Nick Cannon as Tyreek Hill. Not only is he resembling him, but he has the same number of kids. Tragic Johns. Zendaya as Caleb Williams. That's bad. That's gonna send Caleb into a depression. Shane Gillis as Mike McCarthy. Perfect. Josh Brolin as Dan Campbell. Thanos himself. Big jaw. Jada Pinkett as Tony Dungy. I don't think this is appropriate. This is terrible. Oh, that's terrible, man. Judi Dench as Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is going to go after whoever made this list, man. This is terrible stuff. Travis Scott as Justin Jefferson. I guess so. Tyga as CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is not happy about this. Michael B. Jordan as Saquon Barkley. That'll work. Why did it make Saquon teeth look like a chipmunk? That'll work. Chris Pratt as Josh Allen. You could see that coming. Eric Andre as Patrick Mahomes. Is that comedian that's not funny? Bill Burr as Sean McDermott. Perfect casting. Anya Taylor-Joy as Justin Fields. Oh my God, that's not right. Lil Wayne as Alvin Kamara from the N.O. Cash Money Records for the 99 and 2000. Elon Musk as Matt Stafford. They could have made Elon Musk the kicker from the Chiefs. What's that guy's name? Who said that women need to be in the kitchen? Kevin Hart as Bryce Young. Why is there a woman in the evening gown behind him? What's going on? Kyle Rittenhouse as Mason Rudolph. Oh my God, that's terrible. Mel Gibson as Brett Favre. Phil Dunphy as Jim Harbaugh. John Cena as the Minnesota Vikings trophy case. You can't see me. Oh, that's terrible, man. Who? That's wrong. Gary Busey as Mark Davis. That's about right. Jack Nicholson as Al Michaels. Oh my God, that's terrible. Macaulay Culkin as George Kittle. Wasn't he on here earlier as Joe Burrow? He's on here twice. Sydney Sweeney as Trevor Lawrence. Oh my God, that's terrible. Wesley Snipes as Devontae Smith. Maybe. A little bit. Stone Cold Steve Austin as Dan Campbell. You gosh darn right, because Stone Cold says so. Johnny Sins as Robert Saleh. I'm not sure who that is. Don Bongino as Dak Prescott. I'm not sure who that is either. I know who Prince Harry is as Carson Wentz. We already knew that one. Cool stuff, NFL memes, funny stuff. Oh my God. Macaulay as Joe Burrow. Tragic Johns, man. All right, let me get out of here. A little bit over my time. Came in a little bit late. Again, spent some time with my college buddies. Always got to do that. Make sure everybody's good. I do have some Unk seasons. A few of them. I even have a little diversity tonight. I got your favorite T.O. getting it in. Unk season. It ain't just the bruhs. It's my OG Vatos. My OG Vatos getting it in. This is shout out to Rudy Cambeto. This is his uncle. Uncle Joker from the set. Bumping them Modies. Drinking the Budweiser, Holmes. Get it in, Holmes. Any way you can, Holmes. Never too old. OG in the Puro. In Mikasa. Hey, that's for my main man, Happy Boy. Rudy Cambeto. All the homies. This Unk. Unk can't walk. I guess his back might be broke, but his legs ain't broke. I'm gonna put on this whole peach suit and green hat. What are we doing? Where is this? This has to be Nashville. This has to be Houston. This has to be South Carolina. This has to be Mississippi. It gets worse, man. Oh, Unk thinks he still got it. We have to stop. We have to get these guys under control. Out of control, man. Well, we have one Unk who is afraid of Saquon that he changed his name.
I swear, Shayshawn Barkley is the best. We survived the Giants, and now the Eagles got Shayshawn Barkley.
Who is Shayshawn? Who is Shayshawn Barkley? Shayshawn Barkley, thanks to AC2. Shayshawn Barkley. Shayshawn.
I swear, Shayshawn Barkley is the best. We survived the Giants, and now the Eagles got Shayshawn Barkley.
Cakewalk, we are so happy to have you.
This is Unk season, WWE style. Chris Jericho looks terrible. He looks like a keg of beer. And then Big Show's knees. Come on, man. Look at the Big Show. Look at the Big Show. The Big Show is Big Show is all. Big Show is bent up. Why Big Show? Why they do Big Show like that? Why they stand him up with all them lines? Like, look at the Big Show. He is bent like the letter S. His right knee is caved in. His right hip is 5 inches lower than his left hip. His wrestling outfit is cockeyed. He up there smiling, and Chris Jericho looked like a barrel of beer, like a keg. This is sad, man. These are legends. She said it looked like a cheap circus. This is not the real Big Show. This is just the Big No and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho and the Big No. The Big No. Oh man, AC2 sent me this one, man. It was terrible, man. Flat out terrible. I know I had one left. I actually had two left. All right, so now Unk's dancing in the street. Again, putting on a full suit is diabolical, man. I'm sure this happened in 2024. And car lights, red shirt with the collar outside. Oh, the knees hurt. Them knees hurt. I gotta walk it off a little bit. Feel better. Get down. Get ready. One more time. ACL. And walk around. This is really getting out of hand. I had one where it was 2 for 1. That was last week. All right, where's this one where the guys are singing? I thought I had the two unks singing in the store. What are the two unks singing? All right, let me see if I can't find it. Now, this one never gets old. Where are the unks singing? Oh man, maybe next week. It was a unk. 2 unks. Oh, here we go. I found it. Y'all in big trouble now. See, unks in here harassing the young ladies, man. Double unks. Watch Lady Eloise. Look at who they singing to, though. Watch her in her fur coat. Hey. Brothers. Oh yeah. Oh no. Hey, it's never too late. It is never too late. Oh man, these dudes need to be stopped. They can't be stopped. There's no stopping the unstoppable, man. This punk season is never going to end. They gave these brothers microphones. They gave these brothers some money, got some nice union jobs, and now they're doubling up on the sisters at the karaoke night. It's over with, man. All right, that's my show. In times like these, it's so important for us to stay positive. It's so important for us to read our word, say our prayers, be built up. Because some things are going to be unbearable. Some things are just going to be diabolical. Some things are going to be outright outrageous and foolishness. Protect your sanity. If the phone makes you mad, put the phone down. Stop scrolling. Protect your shalom like never before. And I think Dave Chappelle said it best as he addressed good old Donald J. Trumpo. We're counting on you, man, to do what's right for the people of America. Not just your pockets, and not just your followers, but for all of us who maybe didn't vote for you. We're still all Americans, and we want to make sure our lives are peaceable in these United States. We're all Americans. So let's make sure we keep that the main thing. Chill out on all the rhetoric and the placism, power moves. For us regular folks on the front line, stay prayed up, stay connected, find things that make you happy, do those things. In the meantime, still praying for those who lost everything in Pasadena and Altadena and those cities. If you can give. You support. I know we at my church are collecting clothes and toiletries and things like that. We're going to try to get them to a reputable foundation to get them distributed. All the money being raised by all the different organizations is going to help those people. Can't replace the unreplaceable, but hopefully we can help those get back on their feet. And we're so much stronger when we work together. So I think that's what America's all about. All right, y'all. I appreciate you staying up a little bit late. Again, you don't get time with your friends all the time. And I had spent some time, some good food. My main brother from another mother, Paul Guidry, cooked some good vittles. So I enjoyed that. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate you guys. Once again, the show is brought to us by my new sponsors, ImpactSale.com, with our promo code coming very soon, and Princely Garb, some faith-based apparel where you can rock your affiliation with the King. So Princely Apparel, Princely Garb, Lantern and Oil Company, and check out ImpactSale.com. And as always, all in CDL training, the future of commercial driving. Get that CDL license. We're now open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We got to change this graphic, but you know what it is. Hit them up at 909-708-4861. In the meantime, I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace and blessings. Tune in to the Time Is Now podcast tomorrow night. Reveal Methods on Tuesday. Decades. The Sucker Punch podcast, is it coming back? Jimmy Mack, we'll see. 1585, one day we'll come back. All right, y'all. Yeah, AC2, they were singing, but they was jive. They were grabbing the girls' elbows. That's an old school move right there, man. When you grab somebody's elbow when they walk by and she said, "Get off, stop." AC2 in the building at the gym, getting it in. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.